looking in, folks may have looked at my life like, oh, everything is good. I actually even had people tell me that they look at me and my life and they felt like, I am a image of what they want, and I would be so confused about that because yeah, I had a good job, living on my own, had a group of friends, was close with my family, all these things, going on. But on the inside, I still didn't feel like whole. I didn't feel complete. I wasn't as happy as I would have liked to be. I was up and down a lot in my mood. I felt confused a lot of times. And I got to a space where I just really felt stuck. Like, well, if this is supposed to be the life, right? Does it get any better than this?
Right.
Right? Is this it?
Mhm.
And so just, fast forward, long story short, I getting to that space, it encouraged me to then, dig a little bit deeper to figure out, well, what's truly going on with this picture here? What's really going on with me? So in doing my own work, I was able to identify, like I mentioned before, just that I was focusing on making everyone else happy, right? And meeting the expectation and desires of everyone around me.
Mhm.
And I was leaving myself out.
Yep. Yep.
So this is why I wasn't happy.
Yeah, that's, there's so many things that you just said in that statement, because a lot of times people are comparing themselves with other people, not even knowing the actual story or what's behind the scenes or what's behind the social media image or whatever, and not even knowing that even when people were trying to envy you, so to speak, and say they want to be like you, they didn't even know that you were internally probably drowning. Like,
Right.
I'm trying to come out of this thing. I'm trying to get away from trying to navigate this whole thing called life. And y'all trying to say that I look perfect, you know?
Right,
So,
exactly. That
mhm,
was so confusing. I didn't understand that. And recently, I think it was Joyce Myers I once heard say that something along the lines of never envy someone else's lifestyle if you're not prepared to do exactly what they had to do to get to that space, right? You
absolutely.
never know, right, the trials that they had to go through, the what their dark moments really look like. All we see is the success.
Mhm,
So don't envy it, don't desire it if you're not willing to do what they had to do to get there.
absolutely.
And I
Absolutely.
truly know what that means today.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And then you said you got to the point where you decided that I was not going to do what everybody else was doing. So what I'm hearing when you say that is, when we are not making decisions aligned with our values, we find ourselves trying to conform to all these other people. And these people may be, and you can give several examples, these people may be professionals, coaches, colleagues. We're not functioning in our own lane. We're trying to look like the other person. Talk
Yeah.
about that for a second.
Yeah, because it looks attractive. Like I mentioned with the Joyce Meyer reference,
Mhm.
all we see are the results. We see, that this person appears happy. They have, the life, the job, the family, the friends, the events, the, whatever, right? And it looks so great, right? And so what we determine is, okay, if I want my life to look like that, well, then I better hop on the train and do what they did, right? So we start to mimic what we see other people do because we want a fast result, right? We want it to come fast and we want it to look like that.
Mhm. Mhm.
But the thing is, everyone's journey is going to look different. So it doesn't matter how many, steps you take to do what someone else is
Yeah.
doing. At the end of the day, if it's not your path,
Right.
you'll still end up feeling the same way at the end of that journey that you felt at the start.
Mhm.
Probably worse because you're going to be more exhausted because you put forth a lot of energy, trying to get to this space that wasn't your space to go to in the beginning.
When you said exhausting, I'm just trying to think, like, because we've been there. I've been there for sure. Like, living in a place where you're trying to let your journey look like somebody else's journey. How exhausting is it? At some point, you feel like you're not even, who am I? Like, am I trying to be like this person? Like, at what point for you did it get to the point where you're like, wait a second, like, is this even me? Why am I even doing this? Why do I feel like obligated to do these things? how does this even connect to what feels good to me? Tell, at what point did you get to that place?
To the space of realizing that this wasn't making me feel good.
And
Yeah.
it wasn't who I am. It's not even who I am. Excuse me.
I think, and this is what I work on a lot with my clients, to really pay attention to your feelings, right? Because, we are wired as
Yeah.
human beings to notice our feelings before we notice anything else. But for a lot of us, it's the thing that we try to dismiss, right? We try to say, oh, well, those are sad feelings, or I don't want to think about that because that, makes me not feel
Yeah.
good. But if we listen to our feelings, and recognize, like, how am I feeling? Okay, I'm not feeling the best. And you know what? As a matter of fact, I've been feeling this way for a very long time. Like, if we listen to the messages that accompany our feelings, we'll learn a lot about ourselves. Now, this doesn't mean to let our feelings, you know, um, run our world, so to speak, or make our decisions for us, but they come with a message and they're trying to tell us something. And so for me, I noticed just how I was feeling. I just got tired of feeling the same way every day, like feeling heavy, feeling dissatisfied, discontent, confused, all of those things. And so I listened to those feelings and I decided to do something about it. I decided that, I do have the power, I do have the strength to change my feelings. It's the
Yeah.
same thing that I teach my clients, right? It feels like